This is how I made this textured DIY wall art piece using an old canvas painting for my entryway, and how you can do it too. Hey DIY friends, ready to transform your living space without breaking the bank? Well, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie from Home with the Daniels. I'm here to empower you to turn your Pinterest dreams into reality one project at a time. Join me for budget-friendly tips and tutorials. Hey friends, in today's video we're making a DIY texture art piece using an old canvas that I have. I no longer love this canvas, so I want to turn into something that I actually like. This is an easy and budget-friendly way to repurpose something you already own but no longer love. Plus it keeps it out of the landfill and frees up space in your home. This project cost me only $15. I had leftover paint from previous projects, so I just needed to pick up a few supplies. You only need a handful of supplies to get started, so let's dive in. I'm going to show you how to repurpose a piece of art that you no longer like into something you love. Art is so expensive. It can cost thousands and hundreds of dollars for painting this size. So we're going to turn this to something that I love. I got this over 10 years ago when we lived in the apartment, and it's been sitting in my basement for the last 6 years or so. I haven't gotten rid of it, and I decided I'm going to repurpose it and turn it into something that I love. So here's what you're gonna need to do this. So if you're not using a brand new canvas, you're using something that already has art on it, you will need a primer. This is a primer that I'm using. That's the primer I use for practically everything. I already had this, I didn't have to buy it. But if you're not gonna be doing a lot of priming, you can buy a smaller size. It comes in a size like this, I believe, and also in a can, a spray paint can. Next, you will need a roller for the primer, some paint brushes for your paint, and you will need some joint compound. You can either use this, which is all-purpose joint compound, or Drydex if you already have this at home. But if you're gonna have to choose one, I would say go with this one because this is $5, whereas this is like $12, and it's essentially the same thing. And next, a paint of your choice. I have this Oops paint over here I found at Lowe's, and there's also this paint I have over here. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna use. And of course, I have my black paint that I'm gonna use over here that I have some left over. And you will also need a putty knife. I'll link all the materials I use below as well as in the blog post for this project. I started with priming the canvas, but if you're using a brand new canvas, you can just skip this step and go straight to applying the base color over your choice. You can use a roller or a paintbrush when applying the primer. It's up to you. I chose to use a roller just because it makes it a little bit faster. I ended up giving the canvas 3 coats of primer because the original color was pretty dark. This helped create a smooth, clean base for the new design. This is just a quick clip of me applying the second coat of primer. Once the primer was dry, I applied the base color to the canvas. For my base color, I used an Oops paint I found at Lowe's. It was an awesome deal. I only paid $2 for it. I'll share details of the formula in the blog post. I wanted the background to be closer to white, leaning towards beige rather than a pure white. Since we eventually plan on painting the walls, I thought this subtle contrast would work better. I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Now that the paint is dry, it's time to apply texture. I use joint compound and a putty knife to apply it. This is where you can get really creative. Feel free to experiment with different patterns and textures to make it your own. Keep in mind that this step takes some time to dry completely. For me, it took over 24 hours for the joint compound to dry. The thicker you apply the compound, the longer it will take to dry. I can't wait, a first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Here's a close-up of what it looked like once I applied all the joint compound. Now we just need to set it aside and let it dry. Time for the final step, applying the black paint. I used a paintbrush for this step and applied the paint randomly until I was happy with how it looked. And that's it, guys. It's all done. That's all there is to it. It's super easy to DIY that you can do if you want to repurpose an old canvas, or you can just purchase a new canvas. Once it was dry, it was time to hang on the wall. I placed this art piece in my entryway, which I recently gave a quick makeover. I'll share more about that in an upcoming video, and I'll link it in the description below once it's available. I absolutely love how this turned out. And remember, you guys, you can be as creative as you want to be. And if you don't like it, just start over again. And you can do something way bigger or way smaller than this, depending on your space and your style. I chose to use a canvas I already had, but I eventually want to do a huge one for my family room. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and that it inspired you. And let me know in the comments if you'll be making your own art. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this.